Get some rest, Alfred. You were up and down from when I came home trying to assemble ideas for Alessandra's party. I aspire to be as energetic as you are at that age, said Edgar. Dinner was now over, and after Alessandra left to change her clothes for bed, only Edgar and Alfred remained in the dining room. I am not that old, and once you take care of your body in your youth, you should be fine in the future. You and the Duchess seem quiet since you've returned. I hope it is nothing serious. I left the cream from the palace in your bedroom for the Duchess to use. It is to be used twice a day for the wounds to heal quickly. You should give it to her and make amends tonight. Good night. Alfred excused himself. The day ended for Alessandra and Edgar, but Alfred still needed to supervise the servants' washing and inspect the house before going to his room. Good night, Alfred. Let's see if she is truly not upset, Edgar muttered. He had given Alessandra enough time to change for bed. It would be annoying if they were still stuck on what happened with the cook earlier, so he hoped she would keep her word and let the moment be forgotten. Edgar spent their time apart to catch up on his work and think of a gift for Alessandra. Winter was a festive season when many gifts were given to friends and family for no reason. Alessandra's interests were so random that he could not think of what to give her. She had not used most of the canvas and paint he had given her, or taken an interest in the jewelry or clothes unless the dressmaker was present. Edgar entered their bedroom, finding Alessandra seated at the edge of the bed with her mask off and a brush going through her hair. What would you have done if it was Sally? She would have seen your face. He closed the door behind him. I wouldn't mind. I am building up the courage to show Sally and Alfred my face. Even Caleb, since he is such a good friend. Showing you has washed away my fears. I would have loved to stop having to wear my mask when we are at home. It is my goal to accomplish this by the end of winter. What took you so long to return to our bedroom? Alessandra asked, as she had been waiting for him. She had long gotten over what happened with Mario. There was no need to be upset when Mario had left their home hours ago, and she might not see him ever again unless Katrina suddenly died. I have been giving you space as you requested. I take it we are now back to normal? Edgar cautiously approached her. He spotted the jar of cream on the table in their room, so he went to get it. He would consider it a miracle cream if it did wonders for Alessandra's face. Yes, I want the matter to be forgotten. What is that? I saw Alfred bring it inside, but he did not say what it was. Is it meant for my face? Alessandra asked. Yes, it is a special cream created by a doctor in the palace. You cannot find it elsewhere as it is only available to royals. Tobias gave me this after I had been injured, but I had no use for it as it was a small bruise. Alfred kept it safe for me. I can put it on for you, Edgar said, seeking her permission to touch her face first. Thank you. I hope it can stop the itchy feeling I get because of the mask. How I survived without scratching my face to end the itch is a mystery. Edgar, after our visit from my grandmother and the Baroness, I have been thinking about ending their interference with our lives. I've thought of William, too, Alessandra said. She gulped as Edgar stared at her momentarily after the mention of William. You do not need to worry about a man like that, Edgar replied. Then he continued to take out a bit of the cream with his finger and place it on the palm of his hand. I must. What if he has not given up wanting to have me in his home, and he starts to work with Katrina? My grandmother will never want to let go of the fact you killed her son, and Clark will always be around to try to get something out of my marriage to you. Then there's your mother, who will never leave me alone. I just want to be cautious, since one will likely make a move. It is great that you are on guard regarding them. Do what you wish with your grandmother and uncle. Do not think about the others. I will deal with them myself. I have been watching William, not only because he wants you, but also because he is a suspect in the girls who have gone missing. He is hard to get rid of because he rarely leaves home. I was informed he visited the Baroness once, said Edgar. He continued, I am not going to leave these people, but dealing with some of them is tricky. William has gained power over the years and is friends with people who dislike Tobias. If I poke at William without being able to take him down one time, his friends will target me and Tobias. Tobias already deals with a lot within the palace walls, so I cannot rattle his enemies yet. Edgar and Tobias planned to get rid of the men who banded together to oppose the throne. Once they succeeded, some of William's power in the kingdom would fade away, and he would be much easier to eliminate. I have been trying to get him arrested for his weird relationships with the women entering his home. You are not the first daughter a father has sold to William to pay off debts. Those girls are never seen once they go in. Unfortunately, their fathers play stupidly about what was done. When it comes to my mother, you can fight against her in the social world, but she is dangerous enough to try killing you, Edgar said, not to scare Alessandra, but to tell her just how crazy these people were. As Duke and Duchess, they had enemies who did not lack power. And the Baroness? Why can't I do what I want with her? Alessandra asked. Edgar placed the jar back on the table and moved to sit beside Alessandra. I fear the past she is hiding may show how much more dangerous she is than we think. I will take care of her myself. Trust that I am not just sitting around while they plot. I know. I just fear how silent William is. And then there is your mother. I will leave them to you and focus on the Barretts. Everything will be fine. I will keep you updated with my plans to ease your mind. Now, stay still. He gently touched her face to apply the cream. Is this what gets you going? You seem to be enjoying this a lot, Edgar said, due to her expression. Of course I am. The great Edgar Collins has taken it upon himself to care for me like this. Your fan clubs would be jealous. Besides, it feels good against my skin. I should be able to sleep like a baby tonight, thank you, Alessandra said after he removed his hand. The itchy feeling was already starting to go away. Alessandra tied up her hair to stop strands from rubbing against where Edgar placed the cream. Do you think it will clear up my face and make the marks hard to notice? She asked. I am not a doctor who can give you an accurate answer. All we can do is treat your face and hope for the best. They are already not noticeable enough for me to see if I was standing a good distance away from you. Too many years were wasted as your face could have been healed in your youth, said Edgar. I suppose there is a bright side to my father not caring. I wouldn't have ended up your wife if my life was different. You might have viewed me the same as Kate. Doesn't mean you deserve to suffer for this happy ending. Is your attire tonight meant to tempt me? I find winter surprisingly interesting since you are wearing thinner clothes to bed. One night, I might just come to our room and find you naked, Edgar said without any shame. I urge you not to hold your breath waiting for that to happen. Must I always have a lack of clothing in your mind? Alessandra asked. Yes, but I will settle for the night dresses you recently bought, Edgar replied. Alessandra shook her head and went up to lie down on the bed. After a day of 2 visits and party planning, she wanted nothing more than to rest her head against her pillow and enjoy the peace in their bedroom. Edgar, I know your grandmother is taking charge of your birthday, but what do you think about having a party here and inviting all your friends? This house may start to feel sick because of all these parties, but do as you wish. Hopefully you will find me that day, Edgar muttered. Don't be so grumpy. What else am I supposed to give a man who has everything? Alessandra asked, as she was stumped on what to give Edgar. Anything she would buy for him would come from his own money. Edgar tossed wood into the fire Alfred had started, then pulled his shirt over his head to get in bed. We can go back to finding you naked in our bed. It would beat any gift I have ever received. Alessandra sighed, not knowing what to do with Edgar. Is there nothing else on your mind? Not when it is just the two of us alone, Edgar replied. He was never that interested in what he would receive for his birthday. Born into a wealthy family, he was spoiled daily, so nothing made his birthday special. It was just a gathering of a few people he liked and many others he would rather not see. It was only because of his grandmother that he traveled out of town each year. She mentioned something like her heart giving out if she could not see her only grandchild for his birthday. You can make it more exciting and wrap a bow around you or something. Why are you looking at me like that? Edgar asked, after noticing the weird look she was giving him. He laid down on the bed and pulled Alessandra close, as he did every night. Your mind just amazes me, Edgar. Are you like this because it is overbearing to wait for me to be ready to, you know? Alessandra looked away from him to hide her face, which she knew would be red from blushing. Overbearing is the wrong word to use. I say half to tease you, and half because it would surprise you. I can't honestly say it hasn't been torture to hold out, but I will not rush you into it. I can hold out a bit longer. Perhaps until my birthday, when you should consider what I suggested earlier. Alessandra covered her mouth with her hand as she laughed. I am ready to move on to the next step when you are. I would like to continue where we previously left off, but then again, you said there were things we could do before we became more intimate. I'd like for us to continue with that. Tonight? Edgar asked, with excitement evident in his voice. No, I am tired and sure I will fall asleep before anything starts. I want you to know that you no longer have to hold back. I am awaiting it just like you. Alessandra blushed. She desired to be closer to Edgar, and if he made the move for it to happen soon, she would not mind. Knowing how much he was holding back and taking things slow because this was all new to her, made Alessandra want to take the next step even more. She wanted to feel the warmth of their two bodies against each other and experience the pleasure. That's good to know. You cannot take this back in the morning. He kissed her forehead, but quickly regretted it. It might have been some miracle cream, but it had a horrible taste that would not be easy to forget. Judging by your expression, you just tasted the cream. Hopefully nothing in it will get you sick from tasting it. You cannot die anytime soon when I am looking forward to the days ahead of us. Good night, Edgar. Alessandra moved her head from the pillow to lay on his arm. Alessandra worried that Edgar's hand would be sore by morning, but he swore it was fine. She was glad it was, as she enjoyed sleeping close to Edgar. If she could return to her second night here and tell herself not to be so shy, her past self would not believe her. Nothing made her feel safer than lying with Edgar like this. Edgar played with Alessandra's hair to help her fall asleep, but before she could let sleep take over, he had one thing he wanted to fill her mind while she was dreaming. It shouldn't be too much for you to still think about surprising me naked in bed for my birthday. Please go to sleep, Alessandra muttered. What time is it? Alessandra groaned as she opened her eyes. The high wind smacking against the windows had woken her up. Alessandra looked at the window and saw that it was still dark out. Judging from the sound of the wind, there had to be a storm. She closed her eyes, trying to go back to sleep, but finding it hard to do so, Alessandra sighed, having no choice but to stay awake. Alessandra tried to move, but the firm grip around her waist refrained her from doing so. If she moved around too much, Edgar would wake up. Something clicked in his mind to wake him up immediately whenever she tried to leave the bed. If she had to be awake, she would prefer to have a book to read until she could fall back to sleep. The snow will be higher tomorrow. We'll need to shovel another path for the guards to use in the morning, she muttered. Alessandra. She heard Edgar's husky voice behind her. Alessandra blushed, taken aback by how good his voice sounded. It was deeper than usual. Hi, she shyly replied. After no response, she thought he probably went back to sleep. Edgar? Why are you awake right now? Edgar asked. The wind is loud. I heard it beating against the window. I can't go back to sleep. Can you please release me? I would like to get a book to read. Edgar loosened his hold on her and rolled back to his side of the bed. Do you plan to walk to the library this late? He asked. The hallways would be dark and lonesome around this time. Well, yes. There are no books in our bedroom for me to read. I will be back shortly. Edgar held her hand to stop her from leaving the bed. If you are trying to pass the time until you fall asleep, stay here and talk with me. You have woken me up, but I am not ready to read a book or go back to sleep. I didn't wake you up on purpose. It is not my fault you can hear everything even though you are in deep slumber. What do you want to talk about? Alessandra asked, sitting up on the bed to look down at Edgar. I was not informed about what happened with the plates. Seeing that Alfred was cheerful during dinner, I think you did not tell him about the plates. Oddly, he would not have counted them, said Edgar. At first, he thought you had broken them and was angry until I said it was me. He wasn't angry and advised me not to go around them anymore. Alessandra was pleased to avoid seeing Alfred angry. Edgar could not believe his ears that Alfred was not angry. The last time he broke something of great value belonging to Alfred, he recalled how Alfred's hands twitched like he was refraining from hitting him. You're certainly a little angel in his eyes. How wonderful, he muttered. Are you jealous that Alfred treats us differently? For the many years that Alfred was by your side, I can't blame him for always being angry with you. I wonder where he got the strength to deal with you. There's no doubt in my mind you would have taunted him by pretending to break the plates he cares for. I'm surprised he has not lost his mind and tried to strangle you. You should be careful before he snaps, said Alessandra. That only makes me want to poke around at him more. Alessandra shook her head, not knowing what would happen to Edgar. Instead of worrying about Alfred, I should be worrying about myself. I have promised to be with you forever. It has not even been that long since we started to live together, and you have annoyed me many times. And I have swayed your heart other times. Life with me is not so bad. Alfred would have left long ago if it was. Enough about the old fox. Talk about me more. Did you dream about what I suggested? Edgar asked, not giving up the chance to see her wrapped up like a gift. I was hoping for you to have memory loss. I am not waiting naked in a room for you. Ever. She stressed the word so he knew not to ask again. Then what about bathing together? You were quite comfortable with me in the tub last time, said Edgar. I was wearing clothes that time. You are expecting me to be naked, Alessandra replied. We can fill it with enough soap to hide your body. I already have anything you are thinking of getting me for my birthday. I would wholeheartedly enjoy an evening alone with you in the bathroom. Will you grant me one birthday wish, or will you shy away? I have already seen your body, he said, urging her to do it. Truthfully, the better gift would be for them to be tangled up in each other naked, doing what was on his mind each time he touched her. He only needed to get her clothes off, and then it wouldn't be long before they would make love to each other. His birthday had seemed like the perfect day for them to finally have sex. He could make it an anniversary and have an excuse to have sex on his birthday for the following years. Alessandra couldn't find a flaw in Edgar's words because he had seen her body. Being together in a tub was far better than her waiting naked on a bed for him to arrive. Plus, a couple of hours ago, she said she was ready to take the next step with him. Okay, Alessandra answered in a low tone. A smile appeared on Edgar's face, evidence that he heard her. I have never looked forward to turning a year older until now. It will be my birthday, but I will make it enjoyable for you. I would have missed such a tempting deal if I had not woken up. We should wake up in the middle of the night more often, said Edgar. Intimacy is the only thing on your mind. Alessandra shook her head. You can only blame yourself because you are so alluring. It didn't take long for me to become attracted to you. And the amusing part is that you did nothing to make me desire you the way I do. I should prepare myself for the days you become an expert in seduction. I might become so enchanted by you that if you said you wanted the palace, I would take it for you. How dare you make me become the cringy man I have always laughed at? Edgar said, pinching her hand as a punishment. Ow! Alessandra cried out and pinched his cheeks in retaliation. I would never ask for the palace. I do not need to add war into my life. I saw the palace life the day we visited, which did not suit me. I have not even fallen into my role as Duchess yet. Don't bother about that. I don't want you to act a certain way or attend countless parties to socialize. Do what makes you happy, instead of what you feel is required. I enjoy seeing you be carefree instead of being like everyone else, following rules made up by another person. Edgar twirled a strand of her hair as he spoke. He did not want her to lose her entertaining side, which would always surprise him. What he hated most about the women in town was how they acted like each other. They dressed the same, wore their hair, spoke the same, and stood around at parties just talking about pointless topics. They were all being raised to act the same way. They were all like doll sets. Edgar was lucky to come across Alessandra, who was not raised to act a certain way. She didn't force smiles because of him or act like another person when she was with him, Sally, or Alfred. She was the opposite of her sister, who played sweet and innocent before others, but she was a little devil at home. I am doing it because I want to. There will be times when you must attend parties or meetings as a duke, and I will be there by your side. I am a duchess, and I will act like one. Have you received any invitations for parties you must attend? She turned to face him ultimately. I can hardly wait to attend another party like the ball. Hopefully no one gets punched in the face. She chuckled. I will make no such promises. I did receive a few invitations, but I have tossed out more than half of them. There is one Tobias and I have attended each year since he was crowned king. It is quite exclusive, so only those with titles will be there. It is in 3 days. After all of this talking, are you not sleepy yet? Should I? Edgar paused and chuckled after Alessandra lay back on his arm and closed her eyes.